sales tax and they're comparable, and then just come up with a 0 or a 5 and eliminates it.
We are live.
Okay, welcome to the March 26th meeting of the Raleigh County Commission. Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Sure.
Okay, do you have any public comment? Vivian.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Vivian Leyva, Public Information Officer for Riley County for just a little bit longer. I just wanted to take a moment and share, since this will be my last meeting in this role, that it's truly been an honor to serve Riley County in this capacity, and I have learned so much during my time here, and have really enjoyed the privilege of working alongside such dedicated and wonderful staff and leaders. And I'm especially grateful for the relationships I've built, which thankfully are not going to go away because I am just going across the street and I will still see you guys hopefully very often. And I look forward to continuing those connections. And I want to thank you for your support and collaboration and the opportunity to be part of this team. I will miss you all very much. So thank you for believing in me in the first place and believing in the importance of this work.
Well, we're going to miss you too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
good luck to you.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
best of luck.
You've
for sure.
been really, really helpful and really good at your jobs.
Thank you. And I still get to go to Arago lunches, so I will see you.
We'll see you there.
You'll be taking those over probably, won't you? Fair
She
enough.
did that for us.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was very thankful for that because I was chairman at the time. I thought, what the heck am I supposed to do? She took care of it.
Okay, do we have any other public comment this morning? Seeing none, we'll go to commission comments. Commissioner Ford?
Yes, well, speaking to the intergovernmental luncheon, we had one of those on Monday. It was great to get updates from the Marlette Homestead Task Force. I had heard about them, but didn't really know what their work and efforts were. I mean, there's a lot of history over there at that property, obviously, if anybody been here long enough, and K-State and everything else. But so it was good to get an update there. City of Manhattan gave an update on summer camps, as well as an update on the new construction taking place out at Seco Park. I believe they're having an open house this weekend.
Yeah.
Around the ball fields. So I'll be nostalgic for me anyway. Very well attended. It was a packed house. Good to take an opportunity to discuss some important state legislations, working through the process, and then getting agency updates as well. Also on Monday, I took some time to go through the National Association of Counties Policy Insider. It's a new update on federal policy, including decisions and legislative activity from Capitol Hill that's impacting counties nationwide. Some of the top lines this week included obviously the SAVE Act, which is being discussed, obviously, with elections running through counties. That's a big deal. It's being debated in the United States Senate, I think, as we speak. The Federal Surface Reauthorization Bill and a White House AI legislative framework, just to name a few, all have impacts on the nation's counties. Also, NACO explained their work and efforts on these particular pieces of legislations and what county impact could possibly be moving forward on there. So it was just a good informational, formative update, to say the least. Tuesday afternoon, attended the monthly board of directors meeting upon mental health via Zoom. Before the board meeting, we had our usual finance oversight committee meeting to go through all the budgetary items and things that are upcoming. We discussed and made several decisions on some of those budgetary items as well. The regular meeting started with a call to order and some general introductions, and then we reviewed and passed the minutes from the February meeting. Had an insurance review from Chris Conradi. He's the CEO of Conradi Insurance on limits for directors and officers and within the general meeting structure. And also what those professional liabilities are. I'm not a fan of insurance anymore. I'm just not. Just cost of it, logistics of it. It's just a nightmare. We did get a chief finance officer report from Lindsay Miller. And then we got a chief executives officer report from Mike Orskella, followed by a marketing and communications report from different members of the team. Other business items included an employee satisfaction report. We went through that kind of bullet point by bullet point. Distribution of county and city signups for mental health month proclamation, which I believe is in May. And then we ended the meeting with an executive session on non-elected personnel. We'll be meeting again on April 28th for the annual Pawnee celebration, which I believe is taking place up in Clay Center. So, and that's all I've got this morning.
Okay, Commissioner McKinley.
All right. Well, Monday was the intergovernmental luncheon, which John covered pretty well. Tuesday was the construction meeting for the fire and emergency management building. And electrical and mechanical rough ends completed, and their drywall installation is moving along quickly. But there's a lot of change even from Tuesday over
Wow.
there. That goes pretty quick. The final location and size of the tower foundation was resolved by the engineers, moving it slightly away from the building. Been an ongoing conversation for several weeks. And over the last few days, I had several conversations with Jacob and Elizabeth over the reorganization plans. And then last night, I learned that Ned Seaton doesn't know the difference between a PR hack like himself and a public information officer. That's all.
Okay, well, on Monday afternoon, I too attended the government luncheon. The Marlette Homestead presentation I had seen about a year ago at the university, and it was much more extensive. Yeah,
I saw one.
Yeah.
The Historical Society had one.
yeah,
Right,
did they?
Mm.
Yeah, it was, they really have a good plan, and they didn't have time on Monday to really go over the plans that they had, so.
Yeah, if they couldn't cover the whole,
They
taking
couldn't
the whole
cover-
time if they were allowed to do the full
Yeah.
description of it. And there's a lot of stuff going on there. A lot of plans, whether it
Yeah.
gets done.
There you go.
They have some really good plans.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I don't know when they're give that full presentation again or where, but, if you get a chance, everybody go see it. Let me see, let's see, Manhattan summer camps and Siegel Park update. I think they said their open house is gonna be on Saturday morning. Yeah. They were gonna open the fields and.
So they were gonna cook hot dogs for breakfast. I don't know about all that, but.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Let's see, they also, at the meeting, they also discussed legislative items of interest and potential agenda topics for the next meeting. No one really had anything for next meeting, so it's probably a good idea to think about it and let them know. So, Tuesday, I continued to work on my taxes and getting it's kind of a mess this year. Had an appointment with my chiropractor, and then I went up to Keats, spent some time in the park. Public Works was trimming all the trees in the park while we were there, looking really good. So, rest of the week, I've been reading through and studying various issues and proposals being brought before us. Hopefully we can come to some agreement soon. So anyway, that's all I have. So we will go to business. Tax roll corrections, I think it's based.
Items, actual corrections. Motion.
I move to approve the tax roll corrections.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the tax roll corrections. All in favor?
Aye. I'll make a motion to approve the requested employee action forms.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the Riley County Employee Action Forms. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I didn't have anything.
Yeah, I don't have anything, John.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as written from the is that the 23rd, March 23rd meeting of the Riley County Commission.
Second.
So moved and seconded to approve the minutes as presented for the March 23rd meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
No, you go. Mike Dodson had asked to do a presentation and we worked him into the 30th for 10 minutes, 10.
Presentation on what?
Just, you know, what the group has been wanting to talking about. You know, he wanted 20 minutes. I said 10 minutes. And see. Well,
Everything's the apocalypse, apparently.
I know. I thought we could give him 10 minutes. And it was it was a pretty short meeting.
Was that on Monday?
Yeah.
Upcoming
the
Monday?
30th.
Okay.
They just wanted to give some community.
He's got my email.
Hmm?
I said, he's got my email.
Well, if you don't want to do them.
They're members of the public, let them speak,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Well, we have a public comment section at the start of the meeting.
Yeah, that would be my suggestions, that they would still be looking at the speaker. Maybe one after another.
Yeah, that's true to get to the 10
You
minutes.
can
They
get
have a
10
stream.
minutes out.
I'm sure they'll bring it.
3 speakers, so. Yeah. Well, I heard. So I hope it's okay.
Yeah, let it.
All right. Anything? Press conference.
No, nothing.
Okay. I can hear you now. That thing is just ridiculously loud. It is cold.
I'm very thankful for this chance.
I wish he had his,
Cold.
he had his fur collar on now.
That will be a long time. Around the years, for the years.
Yeah, it's starting to get a little dark in there. That time of-
Yeah, it is. I haven't cut myself yet, so it's good. I probably introduce myself.
Yeah, you probably did.
Yeah.
I will not be in far.
Maybe he'll come in with Band-Aids.
Yeah.
All over his head.
Those little dots or whatever they, yeah.
Yeah.
It's this widget thing. Do you do the widgets? It keeps enough widgets.
Widgets.
Yeah, it's all this, I don't know what widgets. I have no idea what widgets.
No, I don't
Just
see
put it
that.
up and I-
Switched off. Like that, yeah.
Oh, it's not, it's just every once in a while it shows up on the screen. And I have to-
Oh, on the side. Oh.
Yeah, that thing. I don't know why.
Oh, there's some other, I don't know, there's a few things that pop up from time to time that I just ignore.
Oh, yeah, it's great, that, yeah, see, but we went last winter and.
It's not-
Lost those.
Hmm.
Most of them.
It's the black thing, biggest blue. So I've got some.
Yeah, it is, it's awesome, especially on the top of the groups. Oh, it does, I like the initial way, that's cool. So like, I can just buy it, so like, I can do it. Yeah. That's the scene. I guess it was, we went to early, like, our plan, and, you know, it was pretty good, I guess I'll have it, it was the. Starting to show that, so, I guess you just, you guys, you have a little great fans, I said, remember you saying, well, this is really good. Didn't have big plans, so.
If you load it from the desk and you try to get out, or you want to load up the.
Yeah, it's, we were planning on anything that I can pop out, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's not, it's not, it wasn't like, it was.
Yeah.
There's like, it's about an hour and 10 minutes of the book. There's like a worse than the just even word.
That's the worst. Oh, yeah. Uses not vote lines. How much you use. You know what? Like, what's the story saying? Oh, I mean, it's bad. Yeah. Reporting lines. Indeed. And I think that was one, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Was all the days here inside. They were more. Now. Well, she was already on 70 degrees. Yeah, I'm not going away. It's 3 on DC. Yeah. Just 7 numbers. I think it's all funny. She got one of those smartphones and that's what you see a little but yes, and they have the settings where you can have both heat long and the same. Oh, yeah, you see what means and you put it in. Yeah, right now, I think it's that. It's hot, it's cold. Cold and it's back over the first. Like this. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
No one can judge every.
Some things,
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. I'm gonna meet with Craig later today. I'm gonna get cinnamon rolls for coming over and talking for a little bit. Yeah. I know that's his name. What, yeah.
That and bow ties.
Yeah. That's. Some birds trying to get in.
That's the same bird I was over here pecking at the window the other morning. Nosy little robin, isn't it?
He's got some ideas on property.
Yeah, I bet it can't do any worse.
Yeah. Yeah, we might be going to an auction or. Yeah, the very simple house. Oh, ended up finding. Yeah. Yeah.
Ugh, got allergies today. Ugh. Pressure headache in front of me.
All this free temperature. Yeah.
It's gonna drop again tomorrow, I think, isn't it? Yeah. Sounds like I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. 57 and 62 seems a little warm for that. And it warms back up to 90 on. Mother Nature is kind of schizophrenic.
This and here. A lot quieter now, but
Yeah,
as soon as we start talking.
yeah, it's time. So when there's talking, when somebody steps up there, it triggers the,
Is that what it is?
yeah, when somebody steps to the podium, it triggers the fan.
That is so loud.
Yes, I did. Thank you. Yeah. That reminds me, I wanted to print that off. I still haven't got, I've got problem. I can't get my printer working at home. So I needed to print that off here because I wanted to say that.
This.
Yes.
Okay, Corey.
All right, good morning, Commission. Corey Meyer, IT GIS Director here for a staff update. Outside of the regular help desk calls, various things that we worked on, we're still had a few security related things and so forth that you are aware we've discussed that we've worked through, trying to keep those as proficient as possible and efficient as possible, particularly in the areas of email. We're still watching House Bill 2842, which has to do with courts. They recently put out a survey to be answered by IT groups about support of local counties in regards to courts, since they are not actually staff being paid by the counties. We are in a transition process of all of the courts email off of Riley County to KS courts. They did pass that all courts are required to use their KS courts. We're no longer going to have dual email accounts. We're actually working through that over the next 2 weeks. The good part to that is that it will save us on Microsoft licensing. So once we have this transition moved, then number of staff that are there and 40, 50, we should be able to see a reduction in our Microsoft licensing renewal. We're working hard to get that done by April, mid-April, when our renewal time will come up. So we're hoping for a reduction when we get that done. We've gone through 4 server installs already in this year. We bought those right at the end of the year, and we have put them in. We're working on our server 2025 operating system upgrade planning. We have to have that done in the next 2 years. So we're planning that now. It'll be a purchase in the 2027 budget for that server 2025 licensing. And then we'll be working through to get that done. We have to be off server 2019 by 2029. That's when that operating system will be end of life and no longer supported. We go through that. We have roughly 80 servers that we'll have to go through an upgrade on when we get to that point. I spoke of before, VMware to Hyper-V. That's our core foundation behind it, runs most of our servers back in there. The VMware licensing has increased extremely, so we're going to migrate those to a different backend platform, and we have that process started. We have our involvement in the EM remodel, which is moving along. Drywall's going up, so we're getting into phases where we're meeting with the companies that are doing the networking and the fiber and those pieces to put in, meeting with K-State. We've had our regular meetings every 2 weeks, but there's a lot of movement, a lot of progress now that the drywall's going up. We'll have a lot of installations. We'll be much more involved there now that we get to the end of that. The BOCC remodel, carpets finishing, furniture's going in today and tomorrow. Ready Systems is in, should be hanging TVs tomorrow, the beginning of next week. John and I discussed and we're putting out a preliminary date of April 9th that we could be back in. Right now we key on that. It might be sooner, but we do agree to allow for the finish, the testing and so forth that April 9th, I would say at the latest. And we'd like to pick on a Thursday, not be pulling our hair out. Unintended, Jacob. Sorry.
Kind of doesn't apply in a couple of cases here.
Not go with a Monday, but right now we have a target of April 9th. That's what we're looking at. So the ITGIS remodel, thank you very much for your approval of the budget on that. Now that's going to move quickly. We've established a timeline there. The next 2 months, we'll be working to move the GIS staff over to our IT area, empty everything out of there. That's where we will all operate out of during the remodel process time.
Okay.
We had a little trial.
I'll leave it to the professionals. You're gonna do like bunk beds for guests or something?
Right. We're going to alternate who goes in the server room where it's cold, a rotation. We did do this for a short period of time before when the when some prior work was being done
Mm.
over there. So we do know where we can fit everyone. But we will all be established in the same location there for a
cozy.
while. I will let you know, we don't have a date on it yet, but the core networking equipment for the CPE building is in the EM area right now. And we will be finding weekend where we will have to take the network down for that building, move that equipment out of that area that's going to be remodeled. So we'll be coordinating that with all the departments in that building.
Where are you gonna put it?
We're going to look to move it down the hallway. In community corrections, they have some interview rooms and they
Mm.
have two small ones
Yeah,
that
okay.
are storage. And I'm going to work with Megan and see if we can use one of those locations to be
Okay.
out of the way. AT&T, I'm glad to say, we have finally fully disconnected from them. We got the last little unknown $7 bill. Taken care of that nobody knew what was, including them. It was interesting. Thank you, Michelle Adams, for all her hard work on that, on that little deal.
Probably wasn't worth the $7 worth of time.
Yeah.
Probably.
We were at that point of like, well, we just don't pay it. No, like, but no, we got that canceled. Working through laptop and desktop planning for 2026. With the way budgets are going so far this year and different things happen, prices increase, notifications, we're going to look to kind of hold that off till the end of the year and see where we're at based on the number that we might replace at one time. In regards to budget, we're starting to see some things that even when we get a quote, they tell us that it may not be final price until we actually sign agreement, or even to the point of and also quotes are not being honored as long. I've seen some of ours that were 60-day down to 30, and some 30 days that have even shortened down to they'll only allow that quote to be good for 15 days. So starting to see that companies, SHI, CWG, some of them we work with, we're starting to see notifications and they send to us on those. So the health department's EMR, I believe they're getting real close. I think they are live. Go live is the first full week of April, somewhere around the 6th, 7th, somewhere in there. We got some equipment ordered and put in for them that they needed. They're doing well over there. We're having the conference room at Public Works in the basement reviewed for a full AV upgrade, much like what's over here at EMS. The screen's getting pretty faded, the projector's going, and we need to upgrade that. That room is used a lot, and we need to do some work in there. In GIS, we are in what's called early review of our imagery flight. We fly every 2 years, so 2026 is a flight year, and then 28 will be a flight year. We had great success this year in finding the right people to talk with at Fort Riley. So thank you if they ever listen, watch, and so forth. But our vendor did a great job of getting established with them, and then we were able to fly at proper altitude along the fort. So we are hopeful that we'll have a little better energy there. The early review is where we go through and spot check and go through, send back what we're finding while they process that imagery. We are also planning for a Esri migration. That's their software. It's through a company called Esri. They have a major upgrade coming out, so we're beginning to prepare for that. And then we also one of the things established last year through a local survey company is to go out and review and get new survey points for us throughout the county, where we see the growth of maybe Manhattan or the growth of the county going to. We go out and verify survey points. So survey points give us better accuracy on our maps, which then of course gives us better accuracy on the acreages and those kind of things that affect the landowner, the homeowner, and things when it comes to the appraiser's office. So that's all I have for today. If you have any questions, I'm certainly willing to answer. Things are going well and things are going to get busy. So all good. So thank you.
Thank you. We have Jacob Hanselman at 9:15.
See the two squirrels fight up. When
No,
there's two squirrels chasing each other around in circles, right? I mean, just looking right past them, I can see them.
the wildlife around here is just
Yeah.
entertaining. Isn't it?
I don't know if we're gonna have this kind of entertainment value when.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Well, it'll be a different, yeah.
That's, yeah, we could get some entertainment on the street. Yeah. You see Colin Klein's press conference yesterday.
I did, and I missed it.
Yeah, one of the, I don't know which one of the asking says, well, seems like you're a new coach here. You know, are you getting to know people or fans getting to know who you are? And he just cracked up.
Probably say that.
Yeah. I don't know who it is, some,
Probably some new person.
no, it was intentional. I mean,
Oh,
it was said as a joke, saying, you know, are you getting used to this area? How do you like it living here? Wow, I know. Who is that?
Just on big conscious time, I'll try to screen for you.
Like, it got a timer. When somebody goes up there, it turns on.
All righty, good morning, Commissioners. Jacob Hanson, Riley County Councilor here for administrative session. I figured I would take probably the majority of this session to have a conversation a little bit about just the differences between county administrator, county manager, the legal distinctions here. I'm sure we can talk about a lot of the minutia at a later date, in which I'm sure you're very interested to do so. But I just wanted to have a little bit more of a discussion on what the significant differences are. And I know since I wasn't here for Thursday's session, I know you guys had quite a few questions that kind of came up in different thoughts. So I just wanted to take the time to let you guys know. We'll first start with just the county administrator position, as you know, is a position that's created by statute, has a list of duties under that statute. And the commission is able to pick and choose what duties they want. There's even a duty under that statute that says any other duties, as asked by the county commission, right? As any other duties assigned. So it's a pretty flexible statute, allows you guys a lot of ability to mold it into what you want it to be. You wouldn't necessarily have to call it a county administrator position, but when we go through the process of creating the position, when I put together the resolution, it's going to have to reference that statute. And I would recommend that we use that process, that we use the statutory process as a basis for this kind of more of a high level administrative position. Where you guys want it organizationally is a totally different conversation, but having the statutory background and the statutory baseline that for this position allows, I think, the person, whoever it is to come in, to have more of a standing of what they're going to be doing and what authority they have. And it's still dictated by the commissioners, of course. But I think it's a clearer position. It will take less manpower than to try to create something from whole cloth. That is still an option. And you certainly, as commissioners, can do that. And you guys can create department heads as many as you'd like, or as the least amount that you'd like, however you guys want it. General county government structure is, for the most part, within your hands, save, of course, for the elected officials. But that brings me to my next point about what county managers are in the local government system. And that, as you likely know, takes a charter ordinance or a charter resolution in order to establish, such as our friends over in Johnson County have done. And the reason why they had to do the charter resolution is they restructured that whole entire county government. They made certain like treasurer positions and I want to say clerk positions are appointed rather than elected. I mean, they really switched to the whole gambit of exactly of how that is governed. And so the county manager also for the Johnson County has typically way more power, way more duties, responsibilities than a county administrator would.
That also takes a board that has to review that charter ordinance every 10 years.
Yeah, there is a charter commission that's required. And the reason again why it's a charter ordinance, even if we were supposed to do this as a county manager, there is a statute that says once you're designated as an urban area, and I believe that's 300,000 or more in population, you are now allowed to use the county charter commission and the county manager. But because of the way it's implemented, we could use a home rule resolution to bypass that if we so chose.
Is that total county population or is that just population of said city?
It says urban area. I'd have to check what it meant by urban area.
Urban area, I mean,
We don't
here
have
it
that
would be,
sure.
it'd be three counties. I mean, we're like a quarter of that
Yeah.
at best, but I mean,
Right. Yeah, we wouldn't be anywhere close.
so basically Johnson County would be the only county that could. would that be-
Johnson, Sedgwick, probably.
Are they over 300?
They could be close, but I don't even know if they have a county, to be honest, but it's just that you would need the county home rule resolution to implement a county manager if you were not one of those 300,000 plus counties,
Oh, you can.
right?
What does that mean? You have to,
It just means you have to do the county charter resolution, which means you have to go through a protest petition period and it basically a little bit more checks and balances and getting the public's input.
when you do the charter ordinance, that have to be consensus of a board of commission?
I mean, it wouldn't just be consensus. It would be, you'd have to do it by resolution.
Okay.
Yeah, you'd have to do it by resolution, then it goes through protest petition, notice, public hearing, all that kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
So it's pretty extensive. And I only bring this up to just highlight the differences between a county manager and a county administrator. I'm relatively certain that county manager is not on the table for your guys' consideration, or you don't. That is not an area you would like to go into. Again, I'm just highlighting it for the difference. I know Rich mentioned the idea of a county coordinator, and how we have looked in the past into a county coordinator, and I've seen some notes even from Clancy and Craig 20 years ago. I guess when
You
this
could read
discussion-
them?
They were typed. They were typed. Because if they weren't, I definitely could not, admittedly. But I found some notes from them 20 years ago, considering the difference. At that time, they felt that there was a difference between county coordinator and county administrator, but frankly, I believe it's in title only. There shouldn't be any real difference other than, again, if you want to create a position from whole cloth and how that interacts with other county positions that have defined statutory duties, such as the county counselor, such as the county engineer, such as, you know, there's a number of us appointed officials that have statutorily defined duties. And I think that's important and gives better guidelines for you guys when you're considering this. But any questions for me? I can help, maybe any burning questions on what a county administrator looks like.
I don't know. We know what our county administrator is going to
Yeah.
look like. So those questions will probably come up along the way.
Yeah, and I should mention, I know I've been working with Elizabeth, of course, and I know she's developed a wonderful checklist about the statutory list of duties that's there and whether or not you guys, and she'll provide that at a later date. Yeah, and that way you guys will get each duty and you can decide, do you guys want that person to have that duty or not, or somebody else? And that way it'll help give you guys a better structure to go off of. I think it would be very beneficial.
I think that's where I'm struggling, trying to put a list together of what that's supposed to look like. And it's just, I'm overthinking it is what I'm really doing, but nonetheless.
If you want to come up here. Yeah.
Elizabeth Ward, Human Resources Director, and what Jacob, what Jacob really recommended after talking to you all, I believe, and you know, his understanding is that just taking those lists that are already, there's 15 statutes, and each statute has, or 15 pieces to the one statute, each one has multiple kind of tasks in that. And so if we can take that apart and say, yes, you want to keep that, or no, you want to give that to the administrator, or there's some things that right now you've already given to department heads, and maybe it's like the hiring and firing of their staff, those kinds of things, discipline actions. So, you know, we can go through that one by one. I can send you that list to review, and then maybe you can decide, or even it's a ballot style, so I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, like I've seen the statute
Yeah.
with all the lists,
Yeah.
but I haven't seen the definition of those. Is that like up to us, or is it?
Well, that's what I'm trying to piece out. So maybe I'll send you the draft, but I tried to piece out what that would mean in action. So like actual.
But it isn't
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
a statute. We're
It-
just saying what the actions. would
Yeah,
be.
it's the pieces that fall under the statute. So I've given you the statute, and then it's okay, so this statute says this and this. Do you want to keep this piece? Do you want to give this piece? It's a place to start. You might not love it, but maybe I'll share it with you if you like, and then
Yeah.
you say, this
So
is
these
still
are
unclear.
things that you've come up with.
It's like if you had the statute in the list and you blew it all to little pieces, and then it's just the little pieces that you're looking at. It's chopped up in a way where it hopefully is a little more digestible and the individual duties, because
Duties.
in the like subsection A, it'll list something and it'll have probably arguably like 5 or 6
Yes.
different duties in it.
Yes.
But we're trying to really separate that out so you guys can make the decision on what parts you want to keep.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
so I haven't
That's
seen
it.
that part. of it.
Yes, no, not yet. I just try to create it and have Jacob look at it. Like subsection A is actually a perfect example. It says attend all meetings and present all plans, budgets, and strategics. Well, those are multiple duties, right? So, okay, maybe you want the person to attend all meetings. Do you want that person to present all of your plans and budgets, or do you want department heads to do that, or just, yeah, what piece?
Budgets.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll send it out to you if you approve that and you can look at it and then we can have a public discussion about that.
So
perhaps?
that's in Kansas law, in the
Yeah.
statutes themselves. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be helpful.
Great.
Would be.
I said that'd be incredibly helpful.
Yeah.
Good deal.
There may not be a whole lot in each section, right?
Yeah, well, some more so than others. It depends on how much, as an attorney, I can always pick things apart as much as you'd like.
We've noticed.
Have to recreate it instead we can just pick and choose.
Yeah, that's gonna be the idea.
And so the budget, projections, supervision of department heads, those kinds of things.
Mhm. And so, I believe I'm probably out of time. I don't know.
Nope, you got
No,
10
you got-
minutes.
I got 10 minutes to fill up. All right. What else you guys want to know?
See, you can go over all the decisions the state's made.
Yeah. Honestly, I should mention there is one piece of legislation I've seen that is certainly interesting and I forwarded to our budget and finance folks, and John and Brittany. And that is, there's a bill hoping to be passed using the whole gut and go method, of increasing the no bid for construction contract. It was a limit of 20,000, I believe, or 20 or 25. And they're going to increase that up to 100,000. That's a pretty significant increase. It hasn't been changed since 2008. So, as far as purchase power is significantly
Price is a little
different.
different.
Yeah. And so, I'm hopeful that it seems to have general support from everyone. I don't think there were too many dissenters.
If I remember correctly, that's coming from the Senate side, and they're usually a little bit more stickler about things. So that's
Yeah.
something to take into consideration.
Right. And, I'd probably defer to John on how helpful that might be. And John, if you want to come up and talk about it, feel free. It was limited to just construction
Yes.
projects. It was specific in the language to construction projects. So it would take, we would probably want to modify our policies to line up with that. If you so choose, you don't have to. If you guys still find value in bidding lower value construction contracts, we could certainly still do that. It would just, of course, cost time, money, to do those
It might
things.
depend on the project
Yeah.
itself too.
Yeah, and you guys would still be able to make that decision individually for each project. There's no reason that you couldn't. So that's an interesting bill that's making its way through. Brittany just shared with me this morning that there was another bill that's been put in recently about the discontinuation of pennies and how we're supposed to round up or down. So it seems like hopefully we're going to get some guidance from the state finally to accomplish that. I did a brief review of it this morning. I think it's pretty straightforward. I think it'll be nice to have that guidance. So I hope that gets through. There are a number of other pieces of legislation at this point that are just kind of sitting there. Don't know exactly what they're going to do with it, because is it going to be a gut and go approach with other bills? What's going to come out the other side of this week, the end of this week? I frankly am not sure. Property tax, at least for the most part, seems probably dead in the water. I can't say that with absolute certainty.
They may revise one or two of the proposals there to a point where it can go to conference committee.
Yeah.
And then once it goes to conference committee, that's all done behind closed doors. So who knows what you can.
Right.
Um,
It's So I'm trying to keep an eye on it as best I can, but things are moving at such a, I would say non-transparent pace, frankly. The way they do these things, it's hard to keep track, and we'll only know when it's almost done. That's just how
Tomorrow's the cut, or when's the?
yeah, tomorrow would be the drop dead day. So, but
Then they can go to conference committee after that, or?
Well, no. It's only the bills that are above the line, or they've done the gut and go process with one that's there. So it's not all legislation, but
It'll depend on what all they send to the governor. I mean, they could extend over the weekend too, if they really wanted to. And then do the veto session with the governor afterwards and see where they're at. Once the veto session starts, that's when we can be certain that, okay, this is where our things are.
I don't know if there's anything to veto or override, is there?
Yeah, there was a couple there, and there might be some that get on the table that get put
Oh,
to the
that's
governor
true
to
too.
let
Yeah,
her
that's true too.
decide whether or not to veto. There was a particular piece of legislation that passed but did not have veto-proof majority, and I can't remember. I don't think that one affected us greatly, so I didn't pay much attention to it. But it is moving forward there in the legislature. So plenty of things going on, but not exactly sure what those things are. And that's how they like it. Anything else I can help with you guys on?
Don't have anything.
All righty. Thank you.
Thank you. So Johnson County, 620, Sedgwick is 528,000.
Is it really?
Yeah. Then it drops down to Shawnee, Wyandotte, 180.
Yeah. Douglas County right underneath that.
Yeah, just, and then, it's
Yeah, you always keep forgetting Wichita's got all those surrounding cities like Valley Center and
well, there's,
Park
that's
City
why
and
the Butler County, it's starting
Yeah.
to grow a lot
Yeah.
because they're close enough to the border, it's going in there.
Well, my watch was closer than that.
Go ahead. What is it?
Or not, that's not an action. There, okay, yes, yeah. I remember. That's why last night I didn't watch anything. Yeah, he's one, but. That's right. Yeah. We just like, you need for, you know, sort of keep track of all that. Literally what I said, yeah.
We ready for John?
Oh. Yeah, John,
35. Yeah, oh, it is, okay.
went fast.
Morning, Commissioners. John Ellerman, Public Works. First item I got a couple items here this morning is your commission chambers remodel. We have gotten some quotes or a quote for blinds or shades, basically they're roller shades that will be there. Is what we looked at. Some of the other kinds we looked were quite a bit more expensive than what these are, so. I know that even though the windows, with the window project, we put a film on them windows that kind of filter out some light. It doesn't allow anybody from the outside to see in during the day. However, if it's an overcast day and you have lights on inside, you can't see shadows, or even better, probably at night, you can see through. So I know there was a request to have some shades or lines put in. These are them. We've broke it down into the commission offices and the chamber and the overflow room. We did not get a quote for the executive session room, but I'm not sure if that's really necessary at this time. So the offices with it, I think they gave me a 35% discount and or even maybe a 40% discount with doing the whole chambers and the offices too. Both of them about $44,000, $4,500, and a total of $8,850 to do the whole chambers. We kind of roughly picked out, or we picked out a light gray kind of color. This is similar. I don't know if that's going to match exactly, but this was showing the shades will go inside the window frame, and the black was what the window frames are. We have light gray materials, what we looked at for the shades.
Yeah, those are through budget blind.
Right.
Yeah, I have those in my house, and you can, it lets light in during the day. If they're the same ones, they're kind of.
Yeah, they're supposed to
but you
filter
can't
light
really
in to
See,
keep
if you can see
keep
figures
out.
moving around at night.
I think where the way the desk is, commission desk is oriented it in the room now. We may have some issue with glare without a shade on the computer screens.
I have a question. In mine, the windows are high enough, you can't see in from the outside.
Right.
And I don't need a shade, and it's on the alley, their sun doesn't get through there anyway. They really don't, I don't see any need to have them there myself. And I understand the others are different, but in mine, like I say, I know that high enough, you can't see in the alley, and I don't get a glare off of the dirt in the alley.
You don't have the windows that come down lower that you can see.
No, when you're standing up, the sill of them is here, and the alley's lower than that.
Wondering if mine is like that too.
No, yours are longer windows.
Yeah. I was thinking they were.
I think yours come down about knee high or mid thigh high.
So
Mine-
these would pull down from the very top.
These will pull down.
They could be like pulled down halfway or.
Yeah.
But
They can't be pulled down from the top down. So you have window on top and shade on the bottom.
Okay.
We didn't get those, you wouldn't be able to reach the top to pull it down.
Yeah.
As we looked at it, when the windows are like a foot and a half above the ceiling grid, it's gonna make it really difficult. to
Yeah.
Shade up and down, so. It's a regular roller shade, so it'll attach at the top, you pull it down.
does it have like a straight pull string
Sure,
on it
pulled.
on the side? Yeah, like a metal one. I think I have like a.
I
metal-
didn't see the shade, so I
Okay.
lower you.
Cause then you can pull it.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're a fabric one, so you won't be able to, they're not the louvered
Yeah.
shades. If we go ahead, we'll get them
Okay,
started.
I don't know
at
if
4 to
everybody wants
6.
it consistent, but they don't need it in 9, but if then we want consistency, that's fine too.
I can take them, I can see what it would take to take them off of your office, but
Well, and I don't know if.
Well, you gotta think about
commissioners would
future
be in their
commissioners and what
offices.
they may or may not
Yeah.
want to, I mean.
Well, that's what I'm saying, you know, because you can't see in
Yeah.
there anyway. And there's no glare coming through the alley, so,
Yeah, well, mine's that way too.
but it does screen, but it does screen off the wonderful view that I get of the alley.
It's a mural out there on.
Oh, really?
See, yeah,
No,
but the stairwell too, we got to make sure we can see people come up and down the stairs.
I gotta go ahead and leave them in, I guess.
a question I had is the executive session room. I haven't found a table yet. I haven't really looked very hard because I hadn't been able to get in too much to measure that room.
Do we need a table?
I don't think we need a table.
Just some nice chair. I don't think we need it.
That's just kind of storage. I mean, our executive session, we just take everybody out of the entire room and.
I mean, at
There's
one
a-
point it was that little room.
Yeah, and I remember, pre-COVID.
There's that one indentation you.
But
could
if
put
you have a
on
very
the
large
table.
executive session, you can't really use that room. There's just not enough space in there if you put a table in there, so.
Big one, yeah, there's a lot of space.
So as of
but
right
that
now, we're
indentation you could-
probably taking a few of these chairs back into the overflow room and we can put them in that room for executive session, if that's where you're gonna have them.
You only need a few or 5.
Good without a table?
Yeah, I'm good without it.
Yeah, I don't think it needs table. We don't
Yeah.
have a table now when we're doing them.
Unless you put some, like I said, you have like a little alcove in there.
Once you put a
Yeah.
table in there,
We
you're,
could put-
I mean, you're standing
Yeah.
on top of each other. The room's just not big enough for.
No, I mean in the alcove where you don't stand, a little table or something.
And we can try it without, if you think you
So-
want one, we can go look for some. My next item, the bigger item I have on here is the Health Department Space Needs Assessment, agreement with Arch Images. They proposed at $85,085 to do the study for the Health Department and FCRC for space assessment. That and looking at one or both of the buildings to see if the whole Health Department staff can fit into one or the other buildings. The study was proposed to take about 4 months to complete. So yeah, they're ready to go. They've got a few dates in mind. As soon as we do this in the next couple of weeks, we can pick up dates when they start. Just need an approval and a signature on the agreement and the contract provisions.
Now, this was the company that we approved that. The group looked at.
Yeah, after we interviewed, the commission approved them to do the job.
Mhm.
Here's now their agreement to do the work.
No problem.
Okay, and go ahead and make a motion to approve the agreement with Arch Images for the Health Department, Family and Child Resource Center Space Needs Assessment.
Second.
So moved and seconded to approve the agreement with Arch Images for the Health Department and Family and Child Resource Center Space Needs Assessment. All in favor? Aye.
Did you need a motion?
To what?
For the blinds, do we need a motion for that or?
I guess it would hurt if I didn't. Did I have one? Okay.
Here's a motion.
Do we need a motion for the blinds or can we do it by consensus?
Okay.
Are we signing anything?
No,
No.
Yeah, I could sign it.
okay. You got consensus.
Okay,
Hey.
April 9th. Okay.
Whether it's ready or not.
I think so.
Yeah, we're moving.
Consider, get in and start organizing my desk.
That's what I was thinking too. Is all the furniture, our furniture in the offices?
It's in the offices, they were
Okay.
trying to piece it back together the other day.
So we could.
They didn't have a blueprint when they took it out, did they?
Yeah. There is something, I tell you, he tapes. He put tape around the legs of the hutching. So they knew right where, but they put it back together.
Okay.
Pretty organized, he does that,
So
so.
maybe time to start.
Now, I can't
transition.
promise your stuff will be on the same shelf, make it fall.
Well, that's why I think, might go down there and start.
Yeah, that's
like,
fine.
See, because I'm sure it's been stirred in.
They put all
you
the
know?
pictures back up in the exact same places, or is that on us too?
Yeah, I'll picture it over.
Okay, that's fine.
Speaking of pictures. There's been discussion. On staff on. The artwork and stuff that was on the walls. Right now, the museum has been kind enough to store a lot of that stuff for us. Don't know if you want any of that back up on the wall.
Well,
The-
just pull pictures from each of the cities out there. I mean, the
What-
big one.
Big ones.
In the,
Yeah, the Southwest design or whatever the hell that thing
We
is
could-
over there in the other room, I could do without.
Yeah. In the conference.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
the
that's
overflow
just,
room.
I guess it's value.
It's really not gonna, it's really not gonna look good now.
Expensive art.
I know, I've heard the price tag on it, but
Well,
Maybe
can
we
we
could-
sell it?
yeah,
We
we
could
could.
sell it.
There's rules on what we can sell. Some,
There are.
There's always rules. I don't know, I think
I
the train stations and stuff, I think that would still be a good fit. in that.
Well, I guess I kind of thought that we maybe swap those out. It's up to you if you want them back. I've had the idea of asking Catherine to pick out some photos that we can make copies of and
yeah, if
hang
she
them
can
around
bring in
the
bring in some options. that'd be
chambers,
fine,
and then
too.
every so often
Move around.
we can rotate them out.
Yeah, no, that'd be good.
That'd be good.
Display.
Or we can leave the train depots up there too.
So I'll just keep those in the rotation as well and they'll get moved around. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, they've been up there for a long time.
The certificates and stuff you still want on that wall? I'm assuming we want the coffee table and copier in that
yeah,
corner.
Yeah,
Put those
yeah.
certificates back up. Okay. Okay,
You're gonna put the coffee table in the same spot.
yeah, if we're gonna use the other room as a executive session
Yeah.
room, then I thought about maybe putting it back behind that wall.
Yeah.
But if we're gonna use it, then we don't wanna.
I prefer to keep doing our executive sessions the way we do them currently. We just do them in the chamber.
No, I think
Like that.
it's easier. I prefer in the other room.
Yeah, me too.
Well, wait till you put a table in there and you have
Not gonna put
6
a
or 7
table in
tables
there.
in there.
We'll just see, we'll just try to see what happens,
We'll set the coffee table and the printer where it was.
Okay.
and just see
If
what
we-
that room looks. I know you've taken up that big
Take all that
cabinet
stuff.
out of that extra room that there's a big wood cabinet on one end. Is that
Mhm.
gone? And all of it, because there was a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah.
And I can put Cindy's stuff in that back room.
Yeah, we don't need that big cabinet or, yeah, it's pretty big when you go in.
I know there's some IT stuff in there
That's
too,
huge.
right?
Lot of-
No? Oh,
actually, so-
there was, okay.
So that,
Yeah,
That's all.
okay.
We relocated that to the first office. Left hand side, the way the exec room is completely open and.
That'll help.
Yeah, it's good. It looks really good. and It's big. It's bigger than I ever thought it was.
Things to think of, we'll get started in that direction, and then
that's what I was thinking. I think when we get there, we'll.
if we need to change something, we can still change stuff around.
It just shouldn't be a dumping ground for chairs and things.
No, should not.
We should have plenty of chairs in the main area to.
We have
take
30, I
stuff.
think we have 30, what we bought. So I said, we'll have some of these in the overflow along the conference table.
Mhm.
For that, but then we could put a handful of them into that executive session, that other room for executive sessions for a while. Too.
Yeah, you only need 3 or 4, 5, maybe 5 at the most.
5, 6, 5 to 10 sometimes.
Yeah. We have more than 5 people in executive sessions a lot.
Yeah. 5, maybe 6. If we can all fit in my office with like an extra couple chairs.
Well, it's without a table, yeah, that works, but when you put a table in there,
Yeah, we
you're
don't need a
you're like
table.
walking like this to try to get around and you're on top of each other.
Yeah.
Because it's a rectangle, not a square.
We've never used a table really for executive session.
A table came out of there during COVID. That table was awfully big for that room to start with.
Yeah, unless you had a real small, we don't really need tables. We're not supposed to be taking much out of here.
Taking that cabinet out and all the IT stuff, what are we gonna do for mail?
We could have it. Put the mail thing in that little alcove, little table in the executive session, put the mail in. Cause it's like, it's big enough
Yeah.
for sofa.
I'd say that seems to work.
Well, we have lots of. No,
Notice.
something better. Maybe well, that's too big. Maybe one of these.
You use this one.
Actually, there's that short bookcase in my office. I mean, I can put stuff on. It's crap. It's just- Yeah. It's. Yeah, shred, Joan Shredder. Should. Too much paper. I need a shredder at home. Well, not paying rent. I usually get rid of stuff from here and throw it in the trash. But yeah. Well, yeah, we gotta go through my files. And I'm wrestling downtown. I have a lot. Trying things this summer. Yeah, a lot of it. I get UPS is easy for me to take stuff from there. Even with paper boxes. Sure, that'd be-
It's time, guys. Yep.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jesse Hubbard, Bradley County Community Corrections. I'm here today for a couple of items. The first one is to request permission to exceed the Riley County policy of over $1,000 in gift cards. This is an explanation. We were recently awarded the Kansas Specialty Grant, $30,000 in January 2026 to assist with recovery court costs. Unfortunately, there's a very short turnaround time that we have those funds, and we have to have that $30,000 is anything not used has to be returned by June 30th of 2026. We have almost $5,000 of that grant award designated towards gift card purchases. And the county recently passed a policy requiring a cap of $1,000 for gift cards per department. So as we have a lot of different programs that we utilize gift cards for. Intermediate intervention clients and juvenile intensive supervision clients receive them for completion of treatment or intervention services, as well as monthly kudos cards. Adult clients get them for the same purposes. We have the monthly kudos drawings, successful completion of COG Ed classes or client behavior contracts. We have the recovery court that gets them weekly. And then we also have a Walmart and Target gift card set aside for police protective homes. If they have a youth that gets brought in the middle of the night without clothes, we give a card to the family so they can go buy basic items that are needed. So we were requesting, again, to go over to exceed that amount so that we can kind of stock up on them before we have to return those funds. We did want to offer as well, because it is a new policy, we don't want to already say, override it. We've discussed with Brittany the option of having them house anything over $1,000 so that we only have 1,000 in our office, and any additional gift cards could be housed with the clerk's office, and we could replenish them as we run low, or any other department that the commissioner would feel okay with us, whoever they would designate to hold on to those excess cards. So we are here to request that we can purchase and possess gift cards in excess of $1,000.
Sounds reasonable.
So just want to make sure they won't. I mean, the issue I have here is we've got a policy in place. We're asking for an exception. We make an exception here, then we're going to be forced to make exceptions in the future, and then you don't have a policy.
Right. And that's why I wanted to bring it to the board, because the only people that can override policy are the three of you.
Right.
And so we're bringing it here, to request the approval of this. And we, that $1,000 number, we did talk about a lot. I know when the original policy was drafted, we had a much lower number, and then we worked with community corrections and health department to see what would be reasonable. I don't anticipate this being a reoccurring request. If it, comes up again, I would like to revisit the amount that we allow departments to have, and see like what the board would like to do, if we would like to increase that number, per the policy, and, just revise the policy. But I don't anticipate at this time being a reoccurring request.
If I
You
can.
do or don't? I'm
I
sorry.
do not.
You do not. Okay.
Just so that the commission is aware, before the policy came into play, we did stock up on them, because it is a tedious process going out and getting all of those gift cards. A lot of times you have employees that aren't familiar with the gift cards. You have to wait for a manager to come in. They have, it's a process. So we appreciate obviously having the authority to possess any amount of gift cards, but it's nice to be able to go and kind of stock up and do that all at once. Where we're done with that for a couple of months. When we have a much more limited amount, we're going every 2 or 3 weeks to replenish them, and it is very time consuming. So there would also be a benefit of a little bit more efficiency.
So this motion, does this change it forever for them, or is this just for this instance?
that is just for this instance.
We would make the motion, yeah.
Yeah, the 48.
The motion doesn't really reflect that though.
I know, but
Yeah, I know, I was gonna ask that too.
I wondered what she meant. So I mean, we would be fine with saying it's just specific to this, since we do have the short turnaround time to spend those funds
Right.
down. Any future, once these funds are done, we're not allowed to go over. We would come back if we wanted to do so to request permission.
Yeah, that sounds.
So for this particular one, it's for $44,875 is what's left over. As a request, you're gonna
Yes.
get cards for me.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Can I ask really quick, do you guys have a preference on if they keep all of them in their office, or did you want them to split it? I have a lockbox in my office. I'm completely fine with how. with
Yeah,
it.
let's try to keep as much to the policy as we possibly
Yeah,
can, would be
so
my
we'll keep
preference.
them all in their
Right.
office, yeah, and they track them all, so,
Okay.
okay, perfect, thank you.
have a
Try to
motion.
revise or you?
Yeah, I'm gonna let you do that one.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome.
I move to approve Raleigh County Community Corrections Department to purchase and possess gift cards in excess of $1,000 for the use by this grant.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the Raleigh County Community Corrections Department purchase and possess gift cards in the excess of $1,000 specifically for this grant. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, and I apologize that wasn't more clear on there, so thank you for
That's
clarifying.
fine.
And the second one is we applied for the Greater Manhattan Community Foundation grant, which we have had since July of 2011, and we were awarded the full ask of $3,000. This grant is used for a lot of the things we come to you for, or present to you for: housing, transportation. But this is specific to clients suffering with mental health issues. So clients with mental health issues, it would cover housing, transportation, mental health evaluations, and medication. So there is no fiscal impact to Riley County, and we are just requesting approval to accept the 2026 Greater Manhattan Community Foundation Grant Agreement in the amount of $3,000.
Any questions?
Yeah, I don't have any questions.
Okay. I'll go ahead and approve the 2026 Greater Manhattan Community Foundation Agreement Grant for $3,000.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the 2026 Greater Manhattan Community Foundation Grant Agreement for $3,000. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Did you get?
Well, it's
Rich.
Oh, I guess.
Oh, okay, okay, that's.
No, I mean, one of the things.
I'm sorry, okay.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and move it to the county commissioners, including Chairwoman Foki, Vice Chair Ford, and Commissioner McKinley, with Jacob Hansen, County Councilor, Elizabeth Ward, Human Resource Director, and Michael Bowler, Noxious Weed and Hazardous Household Waste Director. Recess into executive session pursuant to the non-elected personnel matters exception to the Kansas Open Meetings Act in order to evaluate a department head and protect the privacy of the employee. The open meeting to resume in the county commission chamber at 10:35 a.m.
A second.
It's been moved and seconded for the county commission to recess into executive session for the reasons previously stated under the non-elected personnel exception to the Kansas Open Meetings Act. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Whoops.
There's the meeting is live.
Everybody comes.
Yeah, I know, yeah. One of those.
The meeting is.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I'll go ahead and move the Board of County Commissioners come out of the executive session.
I'll second.
It's moved and seconded that the board come out of the executive session. All in favor?
Aye. I also move that the record reflect no binding action was taken during the executive session.
I'll second.
So moved and seconded that the record reflect no binding action was taken during the executive session. All in favor?
So.
Yeah.
Okay, thank
Anytime
you.
you're ready.
All right, thank you. All right, Amanda Webb, Planning Director, we're here. It's the day.
Yay.
Every new milestone we make for Keats, we just have to, right, so. So we have bid recommendation for you. As you can see in your packet, Brian Foster is here from BG if you have any specific questions for him. Again, we have a couple things Keats related that we'll do, but we'll start with our bid recommendation. Again, as you can see in the letter, he prepared Buyer Construction was, of course, the lowest bid, as you all already knew. There was a bit of a change in some of their numbers, so it did go up slightly. So if you remember what it was last week in the documentation, it was about 15,000, I want to say. But again, it's still by far the lowest bid we received. So basically that is the recommendation to go with Buyer Construction for the Keats project. Any questions for me or for Brian or anything you want to discuss on that?
On the discrepancy, that $15,000, I take it that was just a scrivener's error or something related to
I
it?
believe so. Yeah, Brian can speak to that. They found it when they were.
The reason was there was a compilation error, so when they summed up their totals and we summed up ours and triple checked it, they didn't match, so the way the bids are, unit price governs and any math errors gets corrected, so.
Anybody have anything? Okay.
Well, on the numbers, you say there's 250,000 yet,
Yes.
and that's not including that mysterious one we got, right?
Been calling it the mythical.
The
Yes.
myth- yeah,
Yeah. So as of today, right this moment, we are technically $250,000 short, if you will. There are, of course, some avenues that we will go down to make up that additional funding.
Because it would, you just have to bond it.
Well, I
Yes,
did
well-
talk to USDA. We can do a supplemental request. I'm actually just gonna go ahead and start working on that, just to have that in, because it could take a little bit to review. And again, with the potential additional $1 million grant, we're just waiting for guidance from EPA. They're kind of putting that together now. Hopefully we'll hear something soon. Supposedly that information will come to me, but really at the end of the day, it could come to any of you. So as soon as anybody sees information, we'll just share it with each other. So right now we have those couple avenues. So it should not wind up being an issue by any stretch of the word. And we have the money to, of course, get going. But we just have to basically identify and secure that additional.
That's but I just wanted to clarify in case public saw that and went, they don't even have the money to finish the job,
Yeah.
but we do.
We will, yes,
Yeah.
we will.
It's just the details worked out.
Right, exactly.
So we heard anything more on the piping,
No,
Oh,
so
five
what I did
foundation.
here, so I emailed the gentleman at JM Eagle, the letter that you folks had signed. His quick response was that right this moment, they're kind of prioritizing the fires from LA. However, send him the letter. We overnighted the letter and he would bring it to his group to discuss. So that's as far as I've heard so far. If you recall, we did ask them to let us know if possible by March 30th, just so this can all be incorporated as we're going through this process. So hopefully we'll get input either way within the next few days.
And we don't know if buyer will be able to use that, with those materials. So,
I mean, it's the piping. If you want to speak to that.
Yeah, so if you were to receive some materials, we would negotiate with buyer and do a change order deduct for those materials and transfer those materials over to him. But we could, when we go through that change order process, we would try to do a transparent process and see what his bids were, and see if he could provide, some of that backup so that it's all transparent.
okay, because I was wondering about that, if the buyer, whoever could use that material.
Yeah, as long as it meets, the specifications and stuff like that, they should be able to use.
Which it was taken directly from.
Yeah.
Specs for the project, so it's the right.
Anything else?
I don't have anything else. Got a lot of other things, but.
Make a motion to approve contracting with Bear Construction for the Keats Sanitary Sewer Improvement Project in the amount of $3,789,073.90.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. It's a contract with Bear Construction for the Keats Sanitary Sewer Improvements Project. In the amount of $3,789,073.90. Favor? Aye.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Thank you. So of course, what we'll do is we'll work, of course, with Jacob and buyer to get contracts back with you folks. So thank you for that.
Guess we're on the way, huh?
We are on the way.
Yay.
We're doing it.
Oh, do we have any time where we might be able to get started?
In talking with buyer, they're looking at closer to the late start date and towards the, in the summer start, which is what we allowed for.
So they're working on University Park right now, so we just have to kind of wait for them to meet up with that. Yep. Any other
Okay.
questions on that? Okay. All right, so the next item we have, Keats related, is a amendment to the owner engineer agreement with BG Consultants. And my car explains, and the attachment explains the situation. Basically, excuse me, when they were initially putting the project together, they made an assumption of an estimated 10-month construction. Just as we've gone through, and of course, now that we've received the bids, the more realistic is going to be about 15 months construction, start to finish. So BG just needs to update the cost of that service, because of course, as you and I talked about, they're going to be with us throughout the project, doing their design and engineering pieces along with the construction contractors. So just basically bumping that cost up to account for that additional time in construction. And as Brian pointed out, I didn't actually put it in here, so I'm glad he reminded me. This is hourly, so this is what it, as much as it could be. If we don't use the hours, we don't pay for it. Yeah. Yeah. So like with all of their billing, it's hourly. So even though we might approve a contract of up to X, if we don't use the hours, we don't
Each
pay.
month they submit the hours.
Yep, they submit invoice, yep.
And you're recommending it come out of those ARPA funds that we've.
That's that's what we've been doing. So the, of course, the water office grant that we had, the technical assistance grant, paid for about $360,000 worth of engineering or the design. That, of course, we've used that, and that's
been closed and finalized. And so we've been using ARPA funds to pay for BG services since then.
So we will have enough in there to pay for this,
We will, again, so if we back up for a second, when we talked about the $250,000, I don't like calling it a shortfall, but that's what we'll just call it. That's the whole thing. So the 5,087,000, somewhere in that neighborhood, thousand is everything. So that's of course engineering, that's construction, that's the land purchase that we've already done. That's the entire project. So if you're looking at it as a lump sum as an entire project, where again, we are short the 250,000. However, we have money in our ARPA account that I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, Brittany, we have to spend that by the end of 26 anyway.
That's what I was saying. That has to be-
So yeah, so
has to be
we'll
spent
be able
done
to
this
cover
year.
it. Yeah,
so that would take care of that.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we can start to get kind of a figure for citizens a little bit.
Yeah, now that we have the actual total cost, project cost information, we can update that. Again, we're exploring our avenues for where that additional funding will come from, and if that mythical $1 million does work out, that of course changes a lot for folks as well. So definitely still keeping folks apprised of what's going on and what, we're working on, and all of this of course is public. But yeah, we're just seeing what we can do to let them know what that final impact will be for them.
Yeah, when we may need to have another community meeting and kind of go over all this, what we think is gonna happen.
Yeah, and it would probably be a good idea to have another, community meeting out there probably before construction starts anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
And I
no,
know when we did our last meeting.
Because they all want to know what's it gonna cost us.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. And I plan to send the residents an email, the email notification list probably next week, just letting them know, we've awarded the contract, and here's, next steps, here's what to expect. And then when we were there in February, yeah, there was again a lot of unknowns, and the big thing we wanted to make sure folks, well, there was a lot of things, of course, we wanted to make sure they took away from it, but one of the main things was communication. We want to make sure we're going to stay in communication with the folks regularly. There's requirements for the construction contractor to, provide those weekly, by every other week updates about what to expect next, where they're going to be next, all of that. So yeah, just keeping out there for the folks and making sure they're aware.
And we have all our easements now.
Do we have all of them?
Yeah.
We have all of them? Except one?
Which we won't get.
Right,
So,
okay.
But we've got all the other ones now. So as of Monday, we got,
Excellent, very good.
so.
Any other questions on the agreement amendment?
Motion on that.
I'll move to approve the amendment to the owner engineer agreement with BG Consultants for Keats Sewer Benefit District.
I'll second.
That's been moved and seconded to approve the amendment to the owner engineer agreement with BG Consultants for the Keats Sewer Benefit District improvements. All in favor?
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, yes.
Now we can hear you.
Yeah, I know. I know, it's the toss up between being able to hear each other and having nice, cool air conditioning. ready for the next one?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so just back to talk about the recycling contract that we've had with Howie's. Again, since at least 2010, if you remember, we talked about this at the end of February. Their current 5-year contract had expired at the end of February. And I wanted to bring it back to you folks for discussion before just automatically renewing it. You had some questions. Greg Wilson is here to give some information and answer any questions you might have if you're amenable to him coming up and speaking with you. But again, pretty much all the same information I'd had before. I gave you the complete this time. I apologize about that contract that we had. Again, that did expire at the end of February, but that's what it's pretty much looked like for the last several rounds. And again, it is annual that we pay them up to $15,000 of their net loss of those materials listed each year. Again, if they show it's only 5,000, we would just pay the 5,000. If they show it's 20,000, we'd still just pay 15,000. That's the max amount each year that we pay. And they're only required to show one of those materials as a net loss, which at least for the last several years, it has been glass. I did not include it in your packet, but the statement that they gave me for 2025, it's well more than double what we kind of subsidized for that. So they've definitely been able to show that net loss as per their contract over the last few years. So so if you have any questions for me, otherwise, if you're okay with Greg coming up and speaking. Okay.
Hey guys, good morning. As she said, I'm Greg Wilson. I'm second generation of Howie's as far as that goes. Howard is my father and we've been part of the community for about 40 years. And this is actually my son Cole. Looks like he's probably
taking a call. Perfect timing.
So we got the third generation getting started. So I'm sure there was just questions about what's actually going on with Howie's. I think that's probably throughout the community. We did sell off the roll off in the trash division basically the 1st of February, end of January. I know you guys were involved in that because of you had to sign the contract basically for the trash as far as that goes. But on the recycling side, it's status quo. We're not really trying to make any big changes or whatever. We're trying to just continue to do the same thing. It's still the same family, same people doing the work, all that kind of stuff. Basically, all the roll off and trash division moved down the street, actually the old city shop, the old city 620 South Juliet shop. And they took the employees, they took the trucks, they took the body and the dumpsters and all those kinds of things. And they've set up shop down there. We're back, we're still in the same facility doing the same things we were doing. And if you've been around a while, you know that we've been there. I mean, I think I would put our facility up against anybody's as far as what we do. And I think we're very unique in that we do both metals, and then we also do some of the other things, the household things like the paper and the cardboard and the plastic and the glass. And but I think, well, I know that you will not find another location that does those other materials that is not subsidized in some way as far as that goes. And it's either city funded or it's county funded or whatever. It's their whole operation. And so that is the reason that we've asked for that subsidy over the years. And I'm not saying it's enough, but we've been able to make it work because we've got other things that are working as far as that goes. With that, I mean, do you have any questions?
On the annual report, which will be the financials, I don't,
Sure.
But it's on one page it says 192,000 pounds glass. On the next page it says 192 tons.
Okay. those Scribners, like what the guy was talking about earlier, if you know what I'm saying, as far as that goes. And I'm pretty sure it is 192,000 pounds.
The pounds.
Yes.
Pounds rather than tons.
And
And
then-
say that's a lot of glass.
But then also on that, the commingled recycling, that's the ones that will Howie's be taking the trash people be taking over that portion of it.
They will not. I mean, they're still picking it up at the curb and they're still charging the customer to do that. But we are still processing it for them, or we're still,
Okay, that's what I wasn't sure.
yeah, we're still loading it and moving it to, it goes, right now it's going to Waste Management in Kansas City as far as that goes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And that, I assume, because people pay extra, I assume that doesn't have to be subsidized. I mean, that's
correct.
I assume
They
the
subsidize
extra you
that.
charge for that.
That is correct.
covers.
That is correct.
Because I'm sure there's a lot of cost in
Yes,
sorting it.
that's correct.
That's gotta be a
Yep.
project.
That is very much a project, yes.
And the only thing, and I know most of this stuff pays for itself. I mean,
That is correct.
the glass, and I had assumed it was the plastic, probably the glass. Except
Plastic, yep.
have limited
the tin
down to-
Cans were another one. I mean, it says kind of in our history as far as those goes, those items or whatever are, have all been required at times, if you know what I'm saying, needs of subsidy as far as that goes, but we haven't asked for all of them. We've just asked, to kind of as a 15,000 as a total. And the glass was, the most prevalent, so it was the easiest one to keep track of as far as that goes.
Because then the plastic, I noticed, I just moved, so I've been down there dumping cardboard a lot
Okay.
recently.
Cool.
But I noticed the plastic, you're only taking, because there was a whole, I don't know how many different
Yes, there's
classifications.
1 through 7, as far
But
as that
most
goes.
of them were not really recyclable.
That is correct.
And I don't know if you used to take all of them or.
We did for a while, yes. Whenever we first got started in the commingled will allow us to put them in there. But then shortly thereafter, they would not. And
But
so,
now it's just, which I'm sure that helps.
yes,
All of that other stuff.
yes, the 1s and 2s are fairly sustainable. But I've got, I mean, probably 70,000, 80,000 pounds of plastic on site right now that I can't get rid of.
Oh.
But I think it'll come back, but it's just like everything else. It's a commodity, if you know what I'm saying. And so
Yeah.
sometimes it's people want it, but usually for oils, they want it, but I don't know. It's a game we play, if you know what I'm saying. So.
And and it isn't with you, I mean, like I said, I think you guys do a great job, but the fact that we have to subsidize it, I don't like.
Okay.
I
Well,
mean,
I guess
what ruins.
go to Pot County and you got three employees doing it over there, if you know what I'm saying. Go to really any other county in the state and you got employees doing the work and the work doesn't pay, if you know what I'm saying. I guess that's my point.
No, I'm not saying that you don't have a legitimate cost. I understand it, but it's we're subsidizing people to feel good because it isn't worthwhile to recycle glass. It isn't, obviously it isn't, it costs, so.
But you're filling,
Why are we doing it?
you're filling up this room with what you're not doing.
Yeah.
If you, I guess, if you know what I'm saying, I guess that's what, with the amount of material, I don't know, remember the gentleman over there that he had a picture of it as far as that goes, and it's actually bigger than this room, as far as the volume that we're just putting in the ground, if you know what I'm saying. So I guess I am a capitalist recycler as far as that goes. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to, I love the earth. I love to do that kind of stuff, but when the process is set up, I think it makes sense to keep going, if you know what I'm saying. It's just silly to not keep doing it, I guess, because the restart would be, it would be tough, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You want to talk about getting people upset. If I say I'm not going to take glass tomorrow, your phone's going to ring, if you know what I'm saying. So
but like I say.
you
it is
don't agree with that, or?
No, I know, I'm sure we will, but I still just don't think we're subsidizing to make people feel good about throwing glass in there. Is my thought. The other stuff, I know the other stuff pays for itself, I'm sure.
Sure. Sure.
The amount of cardboard you get in there is amazing.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I've seen the pot, like I say, after you move, you have a lot
Yes, that's
to,
for
to
sure.
bring down there. I've had several carloads.
Yes,
And it's always piles of it there.
Yes.
Surprised how much, but I mean, everything's shipped now and everybody gets a box, an Amazon box in their porch all the time.
exactly, exactly.
And for a little thing, you did.
Yeah, yeah, you get a box this big.
Understand that either.
There's some things rattling around inside, but, and it's just. You know, like I said, it's not anything but what you guys are doing. It's just, it irritates me.
Understand.
That we have to pay to do that. If it's, like I said, it's I'm capitalist, I guess.
I understand.
Okay. Anything else?
So where do we stand?
It is interesting how many tons of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do we want to
Yeah,
make a
six-
motion to subsidize the flag? We've been doing it.
I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve directing staff to prepare an updated recycling service contract with Bison Ridge Recycling for another 5 years.
I'd second it. It's been moved and seconded to approve directing staff to prepare an updated recycling services contract with Bison Ridge Recycling for another 5 years. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed,
Oh, no,
me.
opposed.
You got a big, you got a strong back, I can tell you that much. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You got 8 minutes.
If I can get that done.
Yeah, Kirk is here, if you guys. want
Yeah.
to-
Yeah, let's try it.
Let's get it done.
Move it up.
Yeah.
We'll just let Kirk come on up.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's start early.
8 minutes early.
That's it. So good morning, everyone. Thank you for letting us have the opportunity to talk about this relatively new board. I am Kirk Crabtree with the Riley County Rural Economic Development Advisory Board, which we like to call it just the REDAB, for an easy way to say it. This board came out of the new comprehensive plan for Riley County that we're all very familiar with. And then part of that was being able to come up and talk to you all on a quarterly basis, just to give you a little bit of update of what we're working on. If you didn't already know it, our goals for the REDAB for this year really is mainly awareness, just getting the word out to the, rural communities, to the periphery of the Manhattan, that there is an economic development plan inside the comprehensive plan. We'll do that. There's plans to work with the extension office to get information in their newsletters. We'll reach out to all the rural city councils, go talk to them, probably make the civic organizations, your Rotaries, your Optimists, kind of make that tour circuit to talk about it. And then, of course, talk to, church groups, et cetera, and anybody that'll wants to have us come in and talk about rural economic development. We also, as we did as part of putting the plan together, we requested that y'all come into separate board meetings and kind of talk about how y'all see rural economic development. We had a great discussion last week, Commissioner Ford. And some of kind of concrete steps we're taking right now, kind of moving forward, is, of course, supporting the Make My Move plan, really talking about that and getting our board involved with that. And just trying to really get out there, especially to the rural businesses. Let them know that there is support available as they need it. We are still trying to figure out, what those support packages look like, but just talking to those rural businesses to see, what kind of assistance they may need, what we could provide to help them out. This is relatively new as part of a comprehensive plan, so we're building this plane as we're flying it, which that's okay. So stand for any questions.
I covered everything last week, so I'm
Yeah.
good. I probably over covered actually, so.
I'm coming over to see you, in I think it's April.
Yep.
May.
Yep.
That's what I was just, in fact, I was gonna
Yep.
ask, because I couldn't remember which one I ended up, I'm in April. Okay, I probably got it on my calendar, but. So I can't,
I think
I
you
put
did
it on
send
my
a
calendar,
calendar
my
invite.
brain
didn't
doesn't
you?
remember it.
You sent a calendar invite to everybody, didn't you? Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's on there. Which reminds me. Okay,
Any other questions?
no,
Any other questions?
no,
All right, well, everybody knows how to get a hold of us anyway, if you do have questions.
thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
That's all the items we have on our agenda today. Do you have anything else?
I don't have anything else. Okay, I guess with that, then I'll make a motion to adjourn the March 26th meeting of the Riley County Commission.
Second,
It's been moved and seconded to adjourn the March 26th meeting of the Raleigh County Commission on favor.
Aye.
Aye.